Yo, what's up? Let's do Archon Quest. I wanted to do it yesterday, but got occupied with something. I'll try to finish it today. Tonight's night out has been overwhelming. Yeah, we good. We got some leaks about how to get glider because there's no glider data in the current
If you ever
7.0 there's no glider, but in beta we've seen it. Cruise the Fly, I forgot to do it yesterday. Oops. So yeah, we'll start. So there are rumors, probably rumors, probably doom posting of the glider associated with the third-person shooter mode, which is ass. Like, I don't mind it, but I can only do one run. After that, I'll get motion sickness. I think the aiming, the camera.
Show them. Right here. Emerge. Together.
That's not bad. I think I triggered all of the world quests that doesn't need. That's a lie. You still get interrupted. I don't even know what enable focus experience means. Because there are people who say this, not that they skip not cry, but they are on their way to not cry. They still got interrupted.
Tracking is going to be impossible in this.
Did I put anything? The hell you even look up? Like, this is useless. How the hell did I not notice the chest here?
Grab it and go before we get tailed.
This is when I unlock the Statue of Seven. Oh, this is not Statue of Seven. This is she's Signora's tomb. Yeah. Hmm. Fair. Let's start our journey. Archon Quest time. So that's Natsya. Nastya? Yeah, Nastya. So all of the Archon quests, oh not Archon quests, war quests you do, you'll be there. So I want to draw this. You can observe. If you click on this, it will turn into the third point of view.
We really had to build the railroad over a canyon, huh?
You might want to avoid looking down if you're afraid of heights.
No, it's not that. Paimon's just praying that we don't have yet another accident. That mountain is breathtaking. Reminds Paimon of Dragonspine.
They say this mountain's the domain of a Snegovic lord. A lot of the Snegovic retreated there to live in seclusion, so it's a pretty mysterious place. You hear all kinds of stories. Even the residents of the nearby town of Svietlo-Lidovka steer clear of the summit, and they make a living off of harvesting prime ice. Look, Snezhnograd's just up ahead.
We were invited to the wedding. Not yet. Welcome to Snezhnograd.
Here we are. Welcome to Snezhnograd train station, the biggest transport hub in the nation.
Wow! It's so majestic! Just flying from one side to the other would probably leave Paimon out of breath!
It's built for maximum efficiency, but yes, transferring trains here can be a little tiring. In the future, you can use this train station to travel anywhere you want in Snezhnaya. For now, though, come with me. Let's get Paimon checked out. This way. There's a lift car that goes straight to Zapolyarny.
Zapolyarny. Zapolyarny. Please don't trigger all requests.
Look! Look! They have really funny-looking heads! And those ones are about the same height as Paimon! But it looks like they can't fly!
Those would be Volkoblok and Domovoy. You'll also see the winged Vila and the snowborn Snegovik amongst others.
No wonder! We'd heard that Snezhnaya used to be the realm of the Fae. Paimon can really see it now.
Close belt 6. This is the shortcut. I walk on this track.
To the left is the market of Zolny. They sell everything there. You can often find some nifty little trinkets. To the right, you'll see the Korolyevsky Theater in the distance.
Look at that! Incredible!
Uh-oh.
Should I really come with you?
That marker there.
Wow! Snezhnograd is stunning! Seeing it with our own eyes makes all the trouble we went through to get here worth it!
I found it pretty stunning when I first came here too. But I soon found out that stunningly beautiful means stunningly expensive. The prices here are crazy. I'm just a small-time hunter, so Zolny is where I spend most of my time.
Down there.
This way will take us to Podvorier restaurant. They offer food and lodging there, so you can get settled in while I fetch the doctor.
Is that gonna be stunningly expensive too?
We can farm Layla and Paimon, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, there are places to stay in Zolny, but I highly doubt they'd meet your standards. Most of the stoves are out of crystal, the windows are drafty, and at night, four-legged roommates come out to play, sharpening their claws on the roof beams and floorboards.
Yep, no way. Not a chance Paimon's staying anywhere like that. Maybe we can split the cost of the room between us? Paimon still has some savings left. Fine then. It's your treat. Paimon will save her money for buying a nice little cake. Don't worry, you'll get some too.
I'm glad to see you've perked up. If you find yourselves in the mood for some sightseeing later, there's a few places around here worth seeing. This way leads to Zapoliarni Palace, which serves as the Tsaritsa's audience chamber and also her personal quarters.
Sick.
The adjacent block is kind of a city in its own right. That's Glupov, the headquarters of the Fatui. Inside, there's a munitions factory known as the Armory Palace, producing a constant supply of all kinds of equipment for the Fatui. A lot of important research happens there too. And over there is the Snezhnegrad Vecha, where all the big shots meet regularly to make policy decisions.
The one with the star.
These places are best admired from a distance. I'm sure I don't need to explain why.
Yeah, they probably have super strict security. We're not looking for trouble right now.
The downtown area is near the center of Zapoliarni. That's where you'll find the restaurants, bookstores, and gift shops. Another place of interest is the Northland Bank, which is over this way.
That's the bank. I don't remember the logo. Do they have like logo?
Oh, and I'm sure you'll want to make contact with the Adventurers Guild at some point, right? That's right here.
Ooh, speaking of adventuring, we use alchemy quite a lot. Do you know where we can find a crafting bench?
Alchemy is banned.
No one practices alchemy at Snezhnegrad, I'm afraid. Apparently there's some historical reason for it.
Oh, we'll just have to use the one on the train then. Kinda inconvenient. Wait, how come there's one on the train if that's Snezhnayan too?
Yeah, I don't know. Not my area of expertise. Still, I wouldn't say the absence of alchemy makes life here any less convenient. Anyway... Finally, there's Zolny in that direction. It's mostly residential buildings and factories, but there's a few shops too. Worth a look around if you're interested. That's about it. You guys go ahead and get checked in while I track down my doctor friend.
Sounds good. Thanks for all the recommendations. It'll be good to get out of the cold wind. Paimon's starting to feel another headache coming on.
Podvorye restaurant is right this way.
Daily quests. There's a... Yeah. We can do it later, it's fine. But basically every nation, you will have that quest with Catherine. Hello, sir.
Looks like you get what you pay for, huh? Paimon likes this room a lot. Yeah, much better now that we're out of the cold. Oh, thanks for taking such good care of Paimon. Honestly, she feels kind of bad for throwing a wrench in the works. If this were anywhere else, we'd be out investigating and adventuring by now. But instead, we're stuck here waiting for a doctor. You're right. No need to push ourselves too hard for no reason. A lot happened on our way into the city. Let's review what we've learned so far and try to figure out what to do next. Obviously, the million more question is, what is this Tsaritsa planning? Everything else leads back to that. Sure was. And so far, we've learned that in addition to the 7 Gnosis, her plan also requires a ton of energy. But we won't get to see her anytime soon. Aloysius said that you went east to fight that big monster. It must be a pretty powerful one if it can blanket the whole of Snezhnaya in a snowstorm this awful. To be honest, what we're really lacking right now is information. The kind of information that only the higher-ups in the government would know. Not word on the street type of info.
I hope for Saritsa's story quest we will fight that big ass monster. Some sort of flashback. That would be fun.
Paimon can think of a few people who might be able to help us. But...
Yeah, all for Tui.
Right! And when we left Nogcry, Sandrone specifically left a message reminding us which side we're on. So... it's unlikely they'd tell us anything confidential about the Saritsa's grand plan. Yeah, fair point. Besides, that Gloopov place is right nearby. We've got nothing to lose, so it'll be a waste not to go. There's gotta be someone there willing to talk to us, right? Maybe Arlecchino or Sandrone? Or possibly Tartaglia. But it's unlikely we could sweet-talk Arlecchino, let alone Sandrone. She basically told us to stay in her lane already. Yeah, the last time was all the way back in Fontaine, right? Too bad we missed him in Nogcry. Apparently, he came to help out.
Hello. Is there a traveler in Paimon in there?
That's Aloysia. Come in!
Hello, I'm Dr. Luneva. Aloysia mentioned that one of you is feeling a little under the weather. I see. So you're my patient today, yes? And you're, Faye, I presume?
Good question. Paimon's not too sure either, but she's definitely not the same kind of Fae as the ones we saw at the train station. Is that gonna be an issue?
Not exactly. It's just, I'm used to treating human patients. Fae tend to be far more resilient than even the healthiest and most long-lived of humans. But don't worry, I do have some experience treating Fae. I've even diagnosed plenty of cats and dogs in my time. Safe to say, I have a fairly eclectic range of expertise.
I guess this is why we don't really kill Faye. They just run away. Cats and dogs.
It'll be fine. Paimon's basically the same as a human, right? We're no different when it comes down to it, are we? More like you don't eat enough. The more talking you do, the more you need to eat.
Now, please take a seat. Okay, vital signs are good. Test results are all within normal ranges. I don't think it's anything serious. More than likely, you've just caught a cold. I can give you some medicine to tide you over. But as long as you rest properly for the next couple of days, you should feel better. Make sure to keep an eye on your temperature, though. If you find yourself with a persistent low-grade fever, or if your symptoms don't improve, just contact me again.
Sounds like there's no cause for alarm.
Thank you, Doctor.
You're very welcome. Just doing my job. I'll leave you in peace now. Time to visit my next patients.
Take care. You heard the doctor. Best you rest up here for a couple days. No sightseeing for the time being.
All right, then. Guess we've got no choice. Let's just treat it as a short vacation.
I have to get back to it. If you need anything else from the doctor or me, go to the Hunter Trade Station in Zolny. The boss there knows how to reach me. Hey, no big deal. You saved my life in the Shadow Realm. This is the least I could do. See you around.
All right, time to find Child and see what he can tell me. I'd better not disturb her while she's asleep. With any luck, I'll be back before she knows I was gone.
Wait. Okay, there's no Paimon. Buturlina. So this is Villa. That's your girl. Sailano. Or however you pronounce it. Where is it? You go here, walk there, unlock this. Don't get me wrong, I like Snezhnaya so far. It's just the force things are, I guess, consensus wise, most people agree we don't like the force things upon us. And unfortunately they made it mandatory because you cannot explore Snezhnaya without the Eye of the Grey. Citadel of Fool, great name. Citadel, huh? That's fantastic. See the Fatui logo.
Hold on. Please display your invitation letter or permit. Glupov does not accept meeting requests without a prior appointment. You'll have to apply per the advertised booking process and wait until your invitation letter is issued. Might I ask who you're hoping to visit? Another one who thinks the rules don't apply to them. I don't understand why people think they can just talk their way in here. You don't just show up and land a meeting with the Harbinger.
It's either there are some miscommunication about the Fatui members not knowing who the traveler is, because we are often at the end of their plan, well, the bad plan, or we are the one cooperating with them. That, or because the organization is so big, certain news are not received or directed towards certain people. You've seen that in like big organization. There's always miscommunication, or people know but some people don't know. Oh, I wasn't told.
But I have to go through the motions for protocol's sake. Honestly, it's such a waste of time asking when I already know what the answer's gonna be. Wait a moment. I'll pass on your message. If child is unavailable, you'll have to go through the proper procedure. Lord Child is a busy man. He's probably not in Glupov at present. If I were you, I'd cut your losses. No point waiting any longer. Even if you two are old friends as you claim, please understand that the Fatui Harbingers are often busy with their official duties. They tend not to stay in Glupov for extended periods. Next time, stick to the rules. You'll make life easier for both of us, Greetings, Lady Marionette.
I'll take care of our guest here. It's his first time in Snezhnaya, so it's no surprise that he doesn't know the rules yet. I trust no choice words have been exchanged. No misunderstandings I should be aware of.
No, Lady Marionette. No incidents to report. Whew. That was a close call. Good thing I played it cool.
Is that right? Good to know. Wait, where's Paimon? Under the weather? That's hard to imagine. She's always buzzing with energy.
I know, right?
I take it she's still adapting to the climate. Happens to a lot of people. It's even colder here than in Nodcry. Has she seen a doctor? I can get you one if you need.
Shut up, Sandrone.
All right then. Well, let me know if you run into any other problems. Why else? I was just about to sit down for some much-needed tea time when I heard that an old friend of Tartaglia's had shown up outside. No appointment, nothing. And, as obnoxious as it may be to show up uninvited at Glupov, I couldn't help but take pity on the poor soul who was waiting outside in vain. So I had no choice but to abandon my freshly brewed piping hot tea and come to see this mystery guest for myself. Well, I felt our time working together in Nodcry warranted some courtesy. I couldn't exactly let you freeze to death out here in the wind. Unfortunately, I can't invite you inside either. The rules of Glupov wouldn't allow it, and as a harbinger, I have to lead by example. On the plus side, Snezhnograd actually has some class, unlike Nasha Town. Torchlight Books has a very nice selection of teas and cakes, so we can catch up there. Your treat, of course.
Why?
Because I already wasted one perfectly good cup of tea today. That's why.
The hell? Ah, you enter from here. It's fine. Yeah.
The snow and snow. I've ordered for the both of us. No objections, I assume. I'm sure you trust my taste. Okay, let's get down to business. I'm guessing you don't actually have any urgent business with Tartaglia, per se. You just want information, right? Wanna take a guess? Of course you'd say that. You shouldn't underestimate Counselor Tartaglia, you know.
Counselor?
That's right. I'm sure you've heard of the Snezhnograd Vecha by now. Well, he's busy preparing some paperwork for their next meeting.
Veche is like Parliament then.
They'll be discussing yet another extension to Project Stuja. It's basically all anyone cares about in the Vecha these days. Yeah, he's more of the shoot first, ask questions later sort, isn't he? It all started with a very detailed letter that Capitano left for the jester, Piero, before leaving for Natlan.
Hey, shout out my guy, Mr. Capitano.
In that letter, he detailed the future arrangements for his subordinates. All of his key people were reassigned to Tartaglia.
Hmm. Well, they do hang out with the Tea Party together. Are like, you know, Sandrone, Colombina, Capitano, Child. They all hang out together. Also Signora. And then she passed away. Key people. So the one in Natlan. Okay.
I guess he'd already prepared to leave us for good all the way back then. But Piero didn't reveal the contents of the letter until the events in Natlan had concluded. That was his reaction too. Why me? With a bewildered look on his face. He'd always assumed Capitano looked down on him. He was a man who kept his thoughts to himself and barely spoke to him the whole time they'd known each other.
Even with the Tea Party? Damn.
But he occasionally brought Tartaglia along to my tea parties back in the day. So to the rest of us, it was clear that Capitano had quite a lot of respect for his young comrade. By the rest of us, I mean my tea party regulars. Arlecchino, Rosaline, and... actually, not Colombina. She was probably oblivious to it.
She doesn't care. Colombina just want free tea.
Anyway, then the Liues situation happened. Normally, it took a lot to get under Capitano's skin, but that time he was furious. It's not really my place to talk about it, though. You can ask Tartaglia about it sometime.
Reminder, Child was ready to summon a monster to destroy the harbor. Just so that he can make a deal with, just so that he can deal with Zhongli. So I understand why Capitano was mad. Because the way we learn from Capitano's action in Natlan, he's not like that. So I understand why he disagreed with the way Child did things in the UA Archon Quest.
Basically, Tartaglia probably had the wrong idea about Capitano all along. Right up until Piero revealed the letter he'd left behind. Capitano believed that despite Tartaglia's immaturity, he showed great potential. Plus, he possessed a kind of purity rarely seen among members of the Fatui. Yeah, it's one of the few things that I'd agree those two have in common. But there's one other reason why Capitano chose Tartaglia to assume command of his troops. He knew that after he was gone, several of the others would swoop in on his army like vultures. With the ones who stood to benefit the most being the Rooster, Pulcinella, and Regrator, Pantalone. Once they divided Capitano's troops between them, they'd be more powerful than ever. No one would be able to stop them.
Politics. That's why.
So, you can see why Capitano chose to hand that letter to Piero, right? Exactly. Piero also needed to back a Harbinger as soon as possible. And all things considered, Tartaglia was the best choice. Even though Tartaglia has had the support of Northland Bank for a long time, he and Pantalone are ultimately not cut from the same cloth. I'd say Capitano made a good judgment call. Anyone else caught in this situation would probably feel like they'd been hung out to dry. His best course of action will be to distance himself from any shady business, while still maintaining friendly relations with Pantalone, but seeking Pulcinella's support at the same time.
So he played a long game then.
What's the point in having a tea party if you don't spill a little tea?
Fair enough.
Besides, none of this is confidential anyway. Ask any journalist out there. They'll give you all the lurid details. You'll see it firsthand if you ever sit in on a session of the Snezhnograd Vecha. All the factional strife, whether open or unspoken, it plays out for all to see in that one little room. Having a voice in a Vecha is the only way to steer policies in your favor. So, every person in that room represents a particular interest group. Pantalone, for instance, represents the financial sector, and Tartaglia represents the Fatui soldiers.
So like well-being of the soldier welfare.
Personally, I have no interest in political jousting. But since I have a number of engineers and researchers under my command, I have to make their voices heard. Then there's Pulcinella, the linchpin of the Vecha. He represents politics itself. Everything involves him, so nothing can bypass him. Any issue that comes up, he knows how to mediate. That's what the Tsaritsa values most about him.
We receive like letter, right? Letter from Pulcinella. Is it not Natlan or Norcry? Basically, he did the right thing by just sending help. Well, politically, right thing. I forgot, is it Natlan or Norcry? But there's a letter sent by Pulcinella.
I'm starting to see why everyone is so frustrated with the way things are, but also powerless to change it.
Because they're all stuck in their own bubble, and the other bubble controlled by the other person. But at the end of all of those bubbles, the Tsaritsa.
A complex web of interests connects all parties involved, and the Tsaritsa sitting at the top adds another layer of complexity. It must be nearly impossible to come up with a perfect solution.
What I said, but similar.
All right, I'm done carrying this conversation. Time for you to answer a question of mine.
Just like me on a date.
You must have known that you can get the info you needed from me. So why was Tartaglia the first person you asked to see and not me?
I thought you sent stuff to Columbina. You sent a message to us from Columbina.
I just don't understand, that's all. Anyway, do I really need a reason? Wait, Oh, I think I know what it is. Columbina passed on my message to you before you left Notcry, right?
Yes.
I only meant you should be mindful of which side you're on. Is that actually why you didn't ask for me? Because you took that to heart?
Well, I was being careful.
You... fair enough. It's not your fault. I blame all these politicians I've been hanging around with lately. Always beating about the bush when they talk. I guess it must have rubbed off on me. Anyway, just ask for my help next time, okay? Little things like this are no problem.
Lady Marionette.
What now? Can't you see I'm on my break? Whatever it is, just leave it on my desk. I'll look at it later.
Sorry to disturb you during your break, ma'am, but I'm afraid it's an emergency.
Oh, here we go.
Isn't it always? I've told you before, fixing the tracks and transporting ice blocks does not constitute an emergency.
The equipment in Svietlolaidovka is in urgent need of maintenance. With how the weather's been recently, we suspect that the cause is a buildup of snow, exceeding the maximum weight limit.
Hey, shout out VA learning how to pronounce that. Svetlolidovka. Okay, it's not that bad. Svetlolidovka.
The supports on one of the machines broke and fell, awakening a dormant beast and leaving many of the ice miners trapped in a nearby ice cave. Luckily, Odette's team was nearby and launched a rescue operation, but we're still facing a severe manpower shortage for both the rescue and engineering teams.
I guess that's it then. Our tea party will have to end here. I'm the only engineer you'll need. Do you actually want to come with, or are you just saying that? Nice of you to return the favor. I'll have a couple of people look after Paimon. They can let her know that you had to step out for a while. Given how urgent this is, I'm sure she'll understand. And honestly, I'd rather have your help than anyone else's. Between your skills and experience, you'd be reliable help. Then let's go. You, take 2 people to Pavoye restaurant. Find his room and watch it like a hawk until we get back. If anything happens to Paimon, you'll be answering to me.
Yes, Lady Marionette.
Let's visit the room first, just to see what's up. Where's our room? That's Beche. I forgot. It was the restaurant, right? I want to see. That's the bang. Oh, this pot. I thought they used the knife and fork. I mean, technically it is an inn, but hey, there he is.
Don't worry, we'll be keeping a close watch.
Hey, thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Svetlolidovka. Is this the... No, it's not. This is the one where you trigger the war quests.
They weren't exaggerating. This is really dangerous. It's a good thing only one of them broke. From what I've been told, most of the trapped miners are over in that direction. Yeah, you do that while I check the rest of the equipment. I'll evacuate the people around here as I go. Meet me back here as soon as you're done.
Are we facing the Chimera? Down there.
have to be getting close.
Don't go any further.
Hey.
It's too dangerous here. There's a highly aggressive monster on the prowl. You need to leave, now. Ah, I see. You're the backup from Snezhnegrad. Well, I'm Odette. Good to meet you.
Ah, so this is Odette. She was the first member of the Fatui on the scene.
There are 5 people trapped in the cave. Monster type is unknown, and so is its location. Let's go. Every second counts.
Trial or that? Yeah, I think so.
Careful. Something's moving. This must be the monster's shadow. Looks like a tough opponent. Shadow move. Pirouette. Stay back! I see them. They're right behind the monster. The monster seems very agitated. It could attack at any moment. Let's make the first move. Yeah, together.
Lightning flash!
Witness the snow swan's grace. Pirouette.
Thank you for saving us. We'd have been monster fodder otherwise.
Petsova, what's up? Petsova.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You should be safe now. Follow this route out. He and I will stay behind to watch the rear.
Thank you. Come on, let's go. This way.
I've searched the area. Pretty sure the monster made a tactical retreat. Yeah, but with us here, it won't be coming back anytime soon. It may be small, but don't be fooled. It's a ferocious beast. People are just food in its eyes. It's lucky we got here when we did. The trapped miners have been successfully evacuated. Time for us to leave.
Wait, this place. There's something unusual about it.
Cryo. Oh, that's how you get the sword.
What is that?
I don't know. It's back?
Guess it has family. This way. Run!
Oh my god. Elite.
Thanks. Let's get out of here.
Elite movement. Kevin. That's how you get a sword. Exile Fannies. Fannies. Hey, free sword is free. When the traveler equipped the attack increased by 16. So at R5 maximum ascension, that's 32% attack, 6 energy. If that's a passive.
Traveling to other worlds is all that anyone seems to be writing about these days.
Get my bro up. I'm not using him, but Faf. Nah.
Goodness note.
Everyone's accounted for. We managed to rescue them all. We also placed a sign at the entrance to the cave, warning people to stay away. You really held your own today. I still don't know your name. Don't think I've seen you before. I'll remember the name. All right then. See you around.
Uh-oh.
Hello, Lady Marionette.
I hear the rescue operation was a great success. I knew I could count on you. What brings you here, Odette? Here for a performance?
No, a Fatui mission. I happened to be nearby and heard the crash.
She hasn't introduced herself then. Odette is the prima ballerina of Snezhnograd. She's quite the celebrity. If you ever hear people mention the 2 crowning jewels of the Korolievsky troupe, they're talking about Odette and the prima donna, Vodianitsa.
Korolevsky Troop, Odette and Vodianitsa.
On top of that, Odette's also a rising Fatui star. It's looking likely she'll inherit the title of the Fair Lady.
Ah, your girl, Senora.
She learned all her combat skills from Rosaline herself. Used to be one of her most valued subordinates, too.
You flatter me, Lady Marionette.
Oh boy.
If she's Rosaline's protege, that makes me... Never mind. There's no need to bring it up. No point making things awkward.
How's progress on your end, Lady Marionette?
Equally successful. I finished reinforcing all the equipment. Took me a little longer without Polonia's help. But the outcome is the same, of course. Even if the heavy snowfall summoned by that monster lasts for another 3 months straight, this equipment won't give way.
I hope the monster is not a world boss. It's either a weekly boss or... Think of it like Bakunawa, where you have to beat it certain way. We know it's not going to be in 7.1 because in beta there's no mention of the monster. So I hope the monster is like more like Bakunawa rather than weekly boss or world boss.
Alright, now that we're done here, it's time to get out of this blizzard. Sure, but Snezhnograd will send someone to investigate and draw up a relief plan. And I guess I'll have to write the incident report myself this time, since it involves a mechanical malfunction. First, Pantalone needs to approve the budget, then Pulcinella has to sign off on the plan. Once they've argued it out and reached a compromise, we can move forward. That's the rough process anyway. Could take anywhere from a couple of weeks to a couple of months, depending on how smoothly it goes. Yup, nothing we can do about it. There's a whole stack of incident reports like this back at the office.
We had world quests like this in one thing. the nightmare of bureaucratic affair. I did that work with. I got stressed. I was depressed. Like, what the hell?
The snow has eased a little for now, but there's no telling when that will change with that monster still at large. Fuel for heating is in short supply, and relief is weeks away. There's no immediate threat to life, but still, it just feels like there should be a better way.
Hey, quit daydreaming. Let's get back to Snezhnograd. When did you get a new sword?
I found it in a cave. It handles pretty nicely.
You have a strange affinity for secondhand swords.
That is my Excalibur, you know. So I guess you take the train and go here. Stop here. Go up. That's why we have waypoint. Hey.
Huh. Well, if it isn't Counselor Tartaglia, Mr. Big Shot himself.
Go easy on me, all right? I'm still recovering from the interrogation the real big shots put me through. Hey, comrade, it's been too long. I heard you came looking for me earlier. Nicest surprise I've had in a while. Good to see you too, Odette. I'm guessing you guys just got back from Sviatlo-Laidovka. How'd it go? Crisis averted?
Is that Sviet, the way you pronounce it? I pronounce it Svet. Sviatlo-Laidovka.
It went fine.
How about you? Any new developments?
Not really. Same as ever. Growing opposition to Project Stuja, and the usual rebuttals are starting to ring hollow.
And we know within the Fatui, Project Stuja was... There are two parties, one for, one against. But I don't remember Arlecchino is for or against. I think she's against. Okay, Lini mentioned it as well, right? So...
The results of the mock vote were pretty dire. Pulcinella was fuming. I've never seen the old man so angry.
That's not good news. It takes a lot to rattle him.
Yeah, obviously if push comes to shove, there are ways to crack down on dissent. But...
Sorry, I have to ask something. This is going to sound blunt, but may I?
Huh? Of course, fire away.
It sounds to me like everyone's tearing their hair out trying to figure out how to deal with opposition to Project Stuja.
Yeah, rather than addressing the elephant in the room, they are just figuring out how to make the room bigger, which is stupid. So I guess Traveler wanna ask, what is Project Stuja? Why you are so hell-bent on completing this project?
But what exactly is this project's purpose? And how can it be so important that even people like you two refuse to stand up for the ordinary people of Snezhnaya?
There you go. Like Child, I get it, because he's a local. Like, he's Sneznayan. Marionette, technically Fontaine, even though she cannot swim. She was made in Fontaine. Again, we don't know the context, okay? We are outsider. We are looking from the perspective of the player.
Interesting. I gotta hand it to you, comrade. You sure don't mince your words.
Again, they have like certain loyalty to the Tsaritsa, so opposing the Project Stuja was never in their mind.
Excuse him? What does he mean, refuse to stand up for ordinary people?
Ooh, strike a nerve.
Oh my gosh. How does he dare speak to the Harbingers like that?
I beat your ass.
Are you interrogating us now?
Again, we are the neutral party here. We don't know the political landscape.
It's okay, Sandrone. Let me explain. I think I understand where he's coming from. If I could, I'd take your side right now.
Again, he's a local, so I understand why he will take his side, or the traveler's side. helping the Snezhnayan, living a better life, because we've seen at the start of the Archon Quest.
In fact, my position's very similar to yours. I've only held back on casting a dissenting vote in the Vecha because the Tsaritsa would never let me get away with it.
Oh boy.
Still, I have a responsibility to the Fatui armed forces, so I do what I can to make their voices heard. Most of them are just regular folks from small towns far from the capital. I'm sure you've seen how much those kinds of places are struggling right now. Oh, and for what it's worth, I'm from Arepasak myself. Things aren't going so swell there either.
Yeah, that's why we asked, right?
The Tsaritsa wants to create a better, safer future for the people of Snezhnaya, but she's thinking long-term. I don't doubt that from where you're standing, Project Stuzha seems to be creating all sorts of issues for everyone.
Yep, we've seen it firsthand.
But considering the Tsaritsa's vision for the future, these are sacrifices worth making. Sounds cold, I know, but I promise it's not as black and white as it seems. Maybe Sandrone and I can't oppose Project Stuzha outright, but we're constantly raising our concerns in Vecha meetings.
So they cannot say no to the project. So they are just raising things related, the suffering related to the project.
And even though we can't put an end to it, there are plenty of other ways to make a difference. We're trying everything we can think of, and so is Pulcinella. I respect Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa, and trust her decisions. But at the end of the day, I'm still just a normal guy who cares deeply about my homeland. And my family, who all live here. There's no way I would ever abandon them.
As contentious as things can get within the Vecha, there's no selfishness or malice behind it. Everyone wants to get through this period as smoothly as possible. The issue is that there's no way of pleasing everyone under the present circumstances. Most of the time, we're trying to decide on the lesser of two evils, which obviously isn't a great look. But that is not the same thing as being blindly loyal to the Tsaritsa. No one's got their head in the sand here. We're all well aware of the way things are. We're just doing our best to make it work.
So they are not pledging blind loyalty. Oh yeah, that's good.
In fairness to Sandrone, she rushed to Svietlo Lidovka's aid the moment she heard that people were in danger.
Yes, Svietlo Lidovka.
And even Tartaglia, who used to only care about the thrill of the fight, is clearly doing his best to rise to the demands of his new role as counselor.
Hey, come on. There's only so much we can say, so don't press us too hard. Look, I know how untenable the Tsaritsa's position looks if you don't understand her motives. Maybe you've heard already, but she's currently leading her army on a campaign to the east to defeat the monster that's been causing these brutal blizzards. Striking that monster down will be a significant step in dealing with the present energy crisis. As laser-focused as she is on realizing her lifelong ambitions, she's still putting time and energy into taking down this powerful monster. To me, that says a lot. If she thought Snezhnaya and its people didn't matter in the grand scheme of things, why would she waste her time on something like this? Thanks. I meant every word I said, though. I wasn't just trying to placate you. I've already done more than enough diplomacy for one day.
I still think this adventurer raises a very important point.
She doesn't know.
Our two harbingers have made their positions very clear. But there are many others in the Vecha who must feel trapped and forced to vote against their conscience. I think it's a very valuable quality to be willing to speak one's mind, despite the risk of offending powerful figures.
You can say that again. I highly doubt we'd feel the need to explain ourselves so much if we didn't know you so well.
Forgive me, adventurer, but might I be so bold as to ask about your background? How is it that you can converse so openly with two harbingers?
Well, I beat their ass. Oh, she knows about Rosaline.
Oh, haven't you been properly introduced?
Oh boy, here we go.
Easier said than done. I like to think I'm not the kind of person who goes around busting open people's old wounds.
Oh boy, why do you mention that?
I've only learned his name so far, and no details of his experiences. Is something wrong?
Uh-oh. Is there no avoiding the subject of Rosaline?
Oh boy, here we go.
No, it's just... Alright, I guess there's no getting around it. This is the world-renowned traveler, who helped resolve the Storm Terror threat in Mondstadt, cleaned up after the mess I made in Liyue, and then went to Inazuma, where there was a duel before the throne, in which the traveler defeated Rosaline.
We don't kill Rosaline. We beat Rosaline. And then as punishment, because the rule of the duel, the loser get slain by Raiden. That's the context. So we indirectly kill Rosaline.
Oh.
Ah shit, here we go.
I'm sorry. I didn't think you two would be seeing much of each other, so I figured it wasn't worth bringing up.
It's fine. It was a long time ago. It's fine. Sorry. I just remembered that we have a rehearsal coming up. Please excuse me. I should get going.
Well, that's a friend too, you know.
I've mentioned this to you before, remember? She was Rosaline's most valued subordinate. But they didn't actually get along. Not that Rosaline was really the type of person to make friends, but death has a way of resolving a lot of conflicts.
Yeah, that's true. Because of death, certain people got away with things. Compared to living, where people get reminded of the problems.
Don't let it weigh on you. Like she said, it was a long time ago. It's in the past now. Odette has a very different personality from Rosaline. Give her some time. I'm sure she'll work through it. Oh, by the way, where's Paimon? It's not like her to hide away.
She hasn't been feeling well, so she's resting at Pavorier Restaurant. I got a couple of my people to look after her while we were gone.
Oh, right. Sorry to hear that. Poor thing. Reminds me of when Tonya was little. She really felt the cold back then. Used to get ill all the time. I felt so bad for her seeing her lying in bed, coughing. She was so mature for her age, though. Whenever someone came to visit her, she'd greet them with a smile and would never complain. I'm sure Paimon's a good kid, too. You're a little short on manpower, right? Let me have a couple of my people take over for yours. I'll send my most capable and reliable. They'll make sure Paimon can recover in peace.
Hey, thanks, bro.
Well, that would be great. Your people are more qualified.
Hey, don't mention it. I'm sure you have things to do. Hopefully this takes a load off your mind. So no more accusing me of not being on your side, all right?
Already? That was quick.
I'm afraid I can't help you there. Our director's recent movements are confidential. Even we're not in the loop. If you hadn't told me, I never would have known he'd gone south. I assumed he'd been in Glupov this whole time. Well, I guess I'd better go sort out Paimon's security situation. I have some other work to catch up on at Glupov anyway.
Me too. I have an incident report to write up. Let's leave it there for now.
I guess everyone's in a difficult position. But Tartaglia's right. I have things to do. Things I want to do. And things I ought to do. To start with, I should ask Alosha if he knows any way to help Svietlo Lidovka.
Yokoso. We'll do the work quest later. Zolny is perfect. Oh, that's a train station. Or I was so scared. Glacial Palace of the Pole Star. Fantastic name. Glacial Palace. I need to level up my sword, but we can do that later.
How strange. This sword seems to be vibrating of its own accord. It's a very faint vibration, but it's getting stronger as I get closer to the statue of the Seven. Does this sword have some connection to the statue? But all it does is vibrate, even when I touch it. That place I got this sword from was definitely out of the ordinary. Maybe I should try channeling the power of cryo. Cryo sword! It worked. There really is something special about this sword.
The traveler journeyed far into foreign land, all for a slim chance of redemption. Haha. Traveler's Path. Crit damage increased for every element they resonated with. That's 7, that's 42%.
I don't really understand what just happened, but I'm pretty sure this sword just got a little more powerful. I'll have to try the same thing again when I come across another statue of the Seven. In the meantime, I'd better go find Alosha.
We'll get there. Zoli is down there, so apparently there's this world quest which we did. I think I'm gonna do the sword first, just because.
There's still a long road.
Just Statue of Seven, right? Level up. It is not known when Traveler gave up on capturing Son amidst eternal silence. He's asking allow me to say a few words. We will deal with that later. So we unlock that. Next is here. In some corners of the universe, there must be answers and hope. How much time has slipped away since someone looked up at the starry sky with such a thought? Next statue of Seven. It's here. Yeah, we got 5. You can put like rare stuff here, to be honest. Which is a good way to share things with people. Which is the more annoying one. Have fun. Perhaps humans are no different from moths thrown to a flame. Yearns to survive. Last one. The darkness cannot dull traveler's edge with sword and plowshare, or new beginning is well within reach. Max level, but R2. Oh, R3. That's nice. 100% crit rate, let's go. I need to raise Alyosha.
Eyes on the prize.
She's our only option for electro healer. Talk to you later, bro.
Hello there. How can I help? Ah, sure thing. Give me a second. I'll go fetch them for you.
It's a familiar story. I've had similar experiences. Although Snezhnegrad doesn't deliberately delay or withhold relief, those first few days of waiting for help are always the hardest. It's a fundamental contradiction. If emergency relief can't be delivered in time, what's the point in even calling it emergency relief? Not necessarily. I think there's a good chance that Kresnik Crystal from Stratomeros will start flowing into the market. When we resolve Stratomeros' energy issue, it's like we open the floodgates. A huge backlog of Crystal is now available to the townspeople. There's no way they can use it up at once. A lot of them will probably stockpile it and slowly work their way through. Probably a good idea, since energy prices are only going to keep rising. But there will always be people who urgently need Mora. Exactly. At the current prices, selling Crystal is an easy way for an ordinary person to make a fortune. Hey boss, how much do I have left in my account?
1 second. Let me check. So, you're planning on buying the Crystal out of your own pocket?
Yeah. I don't know if I have enough, so I'll chip in a little extra and buy as much as I can afford. No, it's fine. You're new to Snezhnaya, and you have your own living expenses to worry about. Besides, you're already providing the train.
Oh, I guess we got the free transportation. Don't mind. I can farm Leyline.
Here's your Mora. See what you can find at the market. But I doubt there'll be much Crystal left.
Yeah, well, can't hurt to take a look. Let's see. Huh?
Oh, Alosha, and...
Oh boy, awkward as hell.
hello.
I didn't realize you two knew each other. Yeah, I take on some odd jobs in the city to supplement my hunting income. Sometimes I work as a cleaner or prop hand at the theater where Odette is one of the big stars, so I've met her a few times. When the weather's as bad as this, it's better for a hunter to adapt than to keep looking for game.
Yes, and we sometimes need extra help.
Wait, why is the atmosphere so awkward? I thought things went pretty smoothly in Sviatlo-Lydovka. So, what brings you here, Miss Odette? Looking for some new props?
No. After I got back to the theater, I couldn't stop thinking about the situation in Sviatlo-Lydovka. It bothered me so much, I couldn't focus on my dancing. So I decided I'd come here and see if there's anything I can do. You too, I presume. I suppose that's why you're here. I didn't feel comfortable expressing my true opinions in front of the Harbingers. Not least because ordinary Fatui like me don't even know what Project Stuja is all about.
They are JRPGs with storyline like this. They have a big project, but people were not informed.
Without knowing the full picture, I can't make sense of it. And at some point, if things aren't making sense to me, I can't just keep going along with it.
Fair enough. Uh-oh, Shadow Realm.
So many people feel the same way. They wish they could do something, but all kinds of reservations hold them back. Explains why groups like the Rokot are springing up to fill the gap.
Yes. Well, that's one option. But there are risks to consider with organizations like that. The Fatui does not encourage their activities.
Right, because things can get out of hand, and it's hard to hold the right people accountable when they do. I've heard about a few cases like that.
Sandrone said Odette was on track to inherit the title of the Fair Lady. If so, she'll be able to find out what Project Stuja is really about. Still, it's probably a little soon to ask her about that. There may be more to the story.
What's on your mind? I think we can both agree that no matter which side you're on, it can't stop you from doing the right thing. Where there's a will, there's a way. I know what Rosaline did while she was abroad. You made the right decision, so no hard feelings.
I mean, yeah.
So, what's your plan?
People try to dismiss this. I don't see it that way. Maybe that's just me. She complete her job, but she also bound by the rules during the palace with the Shogun, right? Like, I understand it.
Oh, we were gonna buy some Crystal. I heard there's some on the market right now.
Funny. I had the same idea. In that case, let me pay. I can claim it back as mission expenses. The real issue here is that government relief is behind schedule. Surely it makes more sense for the state to cover these costs than for us to pay out of our own pockets.
True. It's a huge expense after all.
Let me see. I'll take it all, please. And I'll be needing a receipt. Right. Choose mission budget under the expense category, but be sure to specify emergency rescue operation in the description. Otherwise, the normal reimbursement limit will apply. Let's book this train. Regulations say that if we need to transport Crescent Crystal during Project Stuja, extra carriages can be added 1 hour before departure.
So that's the policy.
That should do it. The train will be escorted to its destination by Fatui guards.
This is my first time seeing you handle Fatui affairs, Miss Odette. It seems you're as skilled an officer as you are a dancer.
You flatter me. It's only because I've been doing both my whole life.
Oh my god, the Astral Express. You know what? Now that we know the actual situation, I understand why Fatui members, Shinaz in other nations act like a dickhead. Because they realize, oh, these people got it easy. My family back home struggling. Well, these people got it easy. Imagine, like, if you're a Fatui member, you are in Mondstadt, you see people getting drunk without a care in the world. Well, they were busting their ass, working, putting their life on the line. And you get their family back home is struggling. I mean, I can relate to that. I understand it.
Anyway, I bet you've been non-stop today, am I right? Any idea how Paimon's doing?
What's wrong? Who's Paimon?
His travel buddy. Hasn't been feeling well. She caught a cold right after they got to Snezhnaya.
Sounds like she's important to you. I can't believe you've been dealing with this on top of everything you've been doing to help the people of Snezhnaya.
I've got nothing going on right now, so I'll join you. I want to see how she's doing.
May I come too? I have some candy that someone gave me back in Svietla Lidovka. Plus,
I know a little bit about relieving cold symptoms.
All right then, let's go. I still don't know what the deal is between these two, but at least the tension seems to have vanished. A good sign. Hopefully.
Yeah, you will trigger the world quest here. Apparently, according to some people. Also, there's no new map for 7.1, so I think Hoyo really likes this. No back-to-back maps, they space it out.
Hello. Sorry, but there's a sick person recovering in this room. Can I help you?
What happened?
Oh, please, excuse me. Are you the Traveler? Could I take a quick look at your Adventurer Handbook? Master Child said I should verify your identity.
Well, he's doing his job, I get it.
Ah, it's really you. Sorry for the inconvenience. We're under strict orders from Master Child to keep this room well guarded. At the same time, we can't interfere with Podvoye Restaurant's business. That would only seem all the more suspicious and draw unwanted attention to this room. Besides myself, a few of my colleagues are stationed in and around the restaurant, in plain clothes, of course. Rest assured, you're in safe hands.
I didn't expect such a high standard of protection.
We have VIP, technically.
Well, Master Child handpicked us for this special assignment. We're not about to let anything go wrong. Anyway, I won't keep you any longer. Please, head inside.
Thank you.
Traveler! Alicia, you're back! Oh, hey! Who's our new friend?
Hi, I'm Odette. The Traveler and I crossed paths a few times.
Another friend from the Fatui, huh? You're practically a member yourself by this point. Paimon's definitely on the mend. We should be back to our usual travels in a few days' time. Seems like that doctor was right. It's just... Paimon's limbs are still feeling a little chilly.
I have just the thing.
Whoa! What's this? Is that a flame inside an ice cube? Wait, is this real ice? How's it not melting? And how does the fire keep on burning?
All keen observations. You're right. This is called Core Ignis.
Core Lapis.
Whenever I've caught a cold in the past, I found I recover much more quickly if I place this by my bed. You're welcome to borrow it.
Awesome! Wow! It's so nice and warm! Oh, it's like magic. Your name was Odette, right? How did you two meet again?
Looks like she's in pretty good spirits. That's a relief. Any progress with your investigation yet?
Not.
No surprises there, I'm sure. They're not likely to let anything slip. The Rokad, huh? Let me think. Members of the Rokad keep their true identities hidden, but I think there might be someone I can introduce you to. Leave it with me. Meet me at the Korolyevsky troop tomorrow, and I'll tell you how it goes.
Would anyone like a drink? I'm gonna head to the bar.
Paimon will have... maybe some hot milk? Yeah. Paimon's in the mood for something warm. Enough with the secret chat, you two. Let's catch up properly in a minute. Paimon wants to know everything that's happened today. It'll be kind of like table tabletop troupe. No reason why listening to a story can't be an adventure.
Ah, wait, they are back to back? Oh, damn. Happy belated birthday, Navia. Happy birthday, Chiori. Is it like bug? Oh, right.
The boss is gonna give Paimon a copy of the latest newspaper to read. That should keep Paimon entertained.
See you later. What's the guy?
Hello again. Please rest assured, we'll keep a close watch on this place.
What's the other guy?
Faster? Okay, faster.
Ah, I've been there.
Ah, you made it. I've got some tickets, and I managed to set something up with the Rokot. It'll have to wait until after the show, though. Happy to stay and watch? I doubt you've seen the Korolyevsky troupe on stage before. Pleasure. Here, this is the way in.
Please present yourself for a routine inspection in accordance with theater regulations. Thank you.
Valerie, let's go, my guy.
Is that guy with the Fatui? Looks like he's waiting for something.
His eyes like Renegans. I forgot the. I can see the bear head. He look good.
Okay, all done. Thank you for your cooperation. Please proceed through to the theater.
What's up? Everything okay? Snezhnaya's business and political leaders are always passing through here, so it makes sense that security's tight. Still, it's a little unusual to see the Fatui's Armory Palace guard here. You saw him, right? The guy right at the back. Strong, silent type. His name's Valeri. He's part of the Special Assignments Battalion, but I only ever see him here for one thing. To look for a guy named Mitya.
Special Assignment Battalion. Mitya.
Supposedly a researcher, though he never seems to put much time in at the office. The theater is one of his favorite places to hang out when he's playing hooky from work, but that's not for us to worry about. Let's go. The show's about to start.
Cutscene.
What do you think? Pretty impressive, huh?
That's sick though. Yeah, I was about to say it looks like Opera Epicless.
Oh, the one in Fontaine? I hear it's iconic. Never seen it for myself though.
Like the seats.
Here we are, just in time. Sorry, coming through.
Oh my god. I've seen this guy.
If you're gonna show up late, keep your mouth shut.
Oh my god.
What's his problem? Whatever. No point arguing with people like that.
Look, there she is. That's who I'm introducing you to later. She's the lead singer of the troupe, Vodyanitsa.
Oh, she's the Rocco member. Eula's VA, well, at least English VA, voicing her as well. Oh, you can see her legs, her left leg. Is that like a fish bone? Nice.
This leads directly to the green room. They're expecting us. Vodyanitsa will be waiting for us there.
Is there any Valerie? The hell is the green room? Ah, nice.
Hey there, excuse me.
Can you believe it? I am so mad right now.
Oh, it's you two.
Huh? You know each other? Oh, wait. Is this who you were telling me about? The one you met yesterday and couldn't stop thinking about?
I never said that.
Yes, you did. Why are you denying it? It was right before I went on that rant about the moody factory owner. Oh, I remember it so clearly.
Might I ask what brings you two here?
Oh, I just brought him here to see the show. And when it finished, he was full of praise for Vodyanitsa's performance. So I thought I'd try my luck, see if we could get the chance to chat for a bit. Maybe get an autograph?
You work here. You of all people ought to know that's against the rules. It's not what the green room is there for.
Oh, what's the big deal? Come on, don't be shy. I can give you an autograph. You can take a picture too if you want.
Do as you please. I finished all my shows for the day. I'll leave you to chat.
I wasn't making that stuff up, you know. Odette's just too proud to admit it. She thinks very highly of you. And so do I. You did the right thing in Svietloladovka.
We're good. Odette's out of earshot. I'll lock the door.
Ah, it's a signal.
Confidentiality, of course. The Rokot is very strict on that.
Whoa, Alosha! Not out loud! Not with an outsider here!
Relax, I've taken care of it. Look at this.
The President's reply sent this morning. Wait, so he's been approved to join?
Me?
You told me last night that you wanted to get intel from the Rokot. Unfortunately, Rokot intel is only available to members.
So you signed me up.
But ever since you set foot in Snezhnaya, we've been working together. I've seen the way you work, your character, and your motives. Everything about you is perfectly in alignment with what we're trying to achieve in the Rokot. So I figured I might as well cut to the chase. I wrote a letter to the President explaining your situation, including just the right amount of detail. His approval came very quickly. Of course, it's still your decision whether you want to join or not. We'll respect your choice.
Well, assuming Odette was telling the truth and she didn't misjudge you, I guess we don't need to worry about you blowing our cover. Still, you gave me a real fright. I didn't know that's why you came looking for me. So, that stuff you said about admiring my performance, was that just because Odette was here? Did you actually mean it? Now you're talking. That's what I like to hear.
Anyway, let me give you a quick rundown of how things work. Like I said, the Rokot is a covert organization, and we hide our identities. Members typically don't meet in person or even know each other's identities. This helps us maintain a high level of independence and secrecy. Because of this, members are basically free to decide their methods without constraints, so long as the outcome of any activity doesn't violate the organization's principles.
After all, we don't have any ostensible contact with each other. This way, if anything goes wrong, no one else will be implicated.
Beyond the freedom to choose how you operate, it's also your choice whether to act at all. We have plenty of members who have yet to take any action. In short, joining the Rokot in and of itself won't place any restrictions on your activity in Snezhnaya. There's a code of conduct you can read if it interests you. But basically, as long as you don't plan on using your anonymity to go around doing evil, you'll be fine.
I tried reading it 5 or 6 times. Never made it all the way through. Even the most lackluster script makes for more interesting reading.
Great. Then I'll go grab an official application form. Be right back.
Remember when Alyosha was like, I never heard of Rokot.
Well, Alosha has this pet dog, you see. His name's Tagarin. And this one time, Alosha brought him backstage. Tagarin took quite a liking to me, so I played with him for a little bit and fed him some treats. Then, the Rokot was out on a mission one day. And even though we were all in disguise, Tagarin recognized me right away.
Just a coincidence, really. We didn't report it to the higher-ups, though, to avoid dealing with the fallout. Like my job at the theater, for instance. I really needed to make ends meet. By the way, what were you complaining about just before we came in? Did everything go okay with Chuganov?
Everything did not go okay. That's why I was so mad. I tried to make some small talk with him before I went on stage to fish for intel about the Iskra manufacturing plant. But he wouldn't take the bait. No matter what I said, he kept dodging the question. And then he started complaining. He said he didn't appreciate his second-rate seat in the stalls because he usually gets a private box. I mean, what did he expect? Everyone knows that if you want a box seat, you buy a ticket well in advance. But instead, he sends me a letter the day before the show when we're practically sold out. I had to juggle things around just to get him a half-decent seat, hoping he would appreciate the gesture enough to share some information. But nope, he didn't give me anything.
Yeah, meeting Chuganov in person has definitely been a disappointing experience.
Don't tell me it's the guy that's late.
Oh, you probably don't know who we're talking about, do you? Chuganov was that older guy you were sitting next to today. I'm sure he didn't make a great first impression on you either.
To the citizenry, he's a family man and a kind boss. But our interactions with him tell a very different story. It's one thing to ask for a favor, but he acts like it's his right. He always expects special treatment. Take the ticket situation, for instance. I've actually gotten him a private box in the past. But not only was he not even grateful, now he's acting like I've sold him short this time. Not to mention that he's never paid for a single one of his tickets. And another thing, if he's such a big family man, why doesn't he bring his wife and daughter to see the show once in a while? I've never seen them here, not even once.
Calm down, Vodyanitsa. If you won't do it the easy way, we'll have to try the hard way. But first things first. Here's your application form. Go ahead and fill it out.
Is this the meme? Yes. Octavia. People Fan Idol. Janitor Bot. Wayfarer Chess Mimic. Seamount Abyss. The 12. King Jab of Rice. Lord of the Seven Calamities. A reason for application. People say this is a typo. It's not. It's just a meme. Right.
Looks like I'll need to make a few little tweaks here and there. But other than that, you're good to go. We'll hold on to this for you. All right. Now that we're officially Rokot comrades, I can tell you. Chukhanov is the target of our current operation. Recently, we've done some recon work at the Iskra manufacturing plant, which pretty much confirmed that their energy consumption is way beyond the legal limit. All we need now is some direct evidence to present to the Vetcha, so we can demand that they shut the plant down.
That way, the Kresny Crystal can be allocated to where it's needed most.
I was hoping he might let slip during one of our chats, but he's too tight-lipped. We'll have to find another way. I'm meeting another regular theater goer tonight. Mitya.
But Valeria's here too, and he's probably looking for Mitya, so he may end up being a no-show.
Don't you worry. He must know how to dodge Valeri, or he wouldn't be showing up on time for every performance. Mitya is a renowned energy expert. Although we can't get any direct evidence of the excessive energy consumption at the plant, we can accidentally let the information slip to him. The authorities should take someone like him seriously. So if he starts raising questions about energy use at the Iskra manufacturing plant, there will be a proper investigation. Also, we're not allowed on site, but he has clearance. So all we need is his cooperation. Yeah, so that's the other thing we're trying to figure out. Though I think we're far less likely to make any progress on that front. Still, I hear that Mitya is a bit of a chatterbox. So, who knows? Maybe if we catch him in the right mood, he'll let something slip.
What do you think? Sound like something worth your time?
Okay, in that case, you guys find a seat somewhere nearby. Pretend you're a couple of buddies there to eat, and keep your ears peeled for useful information. He's a huge fan, so I doubt he'll have his guard up around me. But you two need to be convincing. If he suspects anything at all, he might stop talking.
Sure. Don't worry. We'll make a believable pair of buddies.
Perfect! You've sold me already. Now, help me tidy this room up a bit before we head out.
Okay. What needs tidying?
Oh boy.
Everything!
The Howling Gale. So far, so good.
We come here often, so we shouldn't stand out. Let's sit here. Now, it's up to Vodyanica. Let's see how the conversation goes.
That's a big ass cup. Could be like a soup cup.
Mr. Metia! Over here! Over here!
Oh, sorry. I got a little held up on my way here. Now we have even less time than we planned. Go ahead and order some snacks and drinks. Whatever you like. Let me see. According to my schedule, we still have 25 minutes left.
You're really pressed for time today, huh? I was imagining this would be a leisurely chat. If you'd prefer, we can always reschedule for another afternoon when you have more time.
No need. Getting to meet the lead singer is a very precious opportunity for me. I'm not about to pass it up. I've already had to decline your invitation several times because our schedules rarely align. If I don't grab this chance while it's here, who knows when the next one will come around?
Well, it's very kind of you to make time just for me.
I'm not too sure, to be honest. But Snezhnaya is full of weird and wonderful things like that, so people tend not to bat an eye. I'm sure the same will go for the Eye of Grey and Paimon.
The reason I invited you out for tea and a chat today was to get some feedback from a true fan of the theater.
Well, I genuinely have nothing bad to say. No matter how many times I hear you sing, it never gets old. It always seems fresh and new somehow. Maybe it's because the more times I listen, the more details I notice. Or maybe you simply improve with every performance, delivering it better each time.
Thank you! I'm delighted to hear that! Could you give me any specific examples?
Oh, yeah. The piece you sang today, for example. Beneath the Frozen River? Hey, what's with you? I'm just praising a good performance. I always used to find that such a bleak and lonely song. But the more you listen, the more you realize that it's not as cold and nihilistic as it appears. When you really dig down into it, there's a certain level where you're surprised by the emergence of hope.
Wow, I'm impressed. I didn't expect you to pick up on that. Actually, I only tried out that angle after talking with a composer. Still, Beneath the Frozen River wasn't on today's program.
Gotcha.
Oh, really? But it's a classic. You sing it every time.
Almost every time.
Oh, well then, let me say a few words about that other all-time classic, Flying in the Wind from the Mountain Sparrow.
I didn't sing that one today either. My voice wasn't quite up to it, so I switched it out at the last minute.
Oh, but,
Sorry, Mr. Metia, but you were at the theater today, yes?
Of course I was. Remember? I said hello to all the troupe members before the show started. You, Odette, and the others.
So what did Odette sing today?
Elegy of the Snow-Winged Goose, of course.
Correct. I see. I see. You find my singing boring, don't you? That's why you don't remember a single song. Looks like I'll need to cut a few from the program next time.
No, that's not it. I swear.
That chess piece on his chest.
All right. I'll be straight with you. I'm sorry. My mind was wandering as you took the stage today. I enjoy watching your shows because the exquisite performances stimulate the mind. It always sparks some inspiration for my research. So whenever I get stuck at work, I come to the theater for a change of pace. Odette's dance during the elegy of the Snow-Winged Goose today was simply incredible. It got me wondering what she's been going through recently. That look of sheer defiance in the face of utter tragedy? It was so inspiring. I started scribbling in my notebook right away. Not that I made a ton of progress in the grand scheme of things, but I still think it was productive. By the time I snapped out of it, the entire show had finished.
So what you're saying is, you didn't listen to my singing at all?
Unfortunately not. I'm sorry, I don't know which is more disrespectful. The fact that I don't always come for the show itself,
or the fact that I missed your performance.
Seems like things are getting a little awkward.
Mitya just stepped into a conversational minefield. If there's one thing Vodyanitsa doesn't like, it's people who show disrespect for her performance.
Oh boy.
This meeting was so hard to set up. Don't tell me it's already falling apart.
It's fine. I suppose this is affirming in its own way. At least, it shows that our performance really touches people's hearts, right? Don't let it bother you. It certainly doesn't bother me.
She's showing a lot of restraint.
Well, I'll be sure to let Odette know how much you adored her performance.
Please don't say that. I always love your performances too. It's just that inspiration struck at the wrong time today. I'm usually all ears.
I know, I can tell. That's why I value your opinion. I'm sure some people can't stand it when others praise their coworkers right to their face, but not me. No, sir.
Fair enough. I still feel kind of bad though.
That scarf is trolling.
But you know what I really can't stand? People who only show up to the theater to pretend that they're cultured. Makes me sick to my stomach.
Oh yeah, 100%. There are too many of those people around. By the time they're walking out the door, they've forgotten all about the show. What's wrong? You look furious.
I don't know if you've heard about the boss of the Iskra manufacturing plant. He isn't even a theater investor, but he always demands the same privileges as actual investors.
Ah, nice switch.
Box tickets only, premium drinks, even the right to request specific songs.
Well played, Vodyanitsa. Seems like she's harnessing her rage to steer the conversation back on track.
Now that you mention it, I've interacted with that guy before. I gotta say, everyone holds him up as an example of a benevolent businessman, but I don't know. I don't see it.
Yeah, he couldn't care less about what's happening on stage. He's just there to flaunt his social status. I hate that I have to prepare programs for guys like that. What's the big deal with that factory he runs anyway? I asked around a bit and heard some pretty shocking stories. Sounds like he's just another greedy capitalist.
Oh, really?
Yep, the things people are saying are pretty damning. Low wages, insanely long working hours, equipment running around the clock. And as if that's not bad enough, he also strictly forbids his employees from giving any kind of interview. Project Stuja has now been extended so many times, we're at the point where crystal rations for the common folk are barely enough to survive on. Yet he even wants to get his greedy hands on them just to boost his own profits. If the rumors are true, he's in serious violation of the law.
Interesting. So you've heard about it too?
What? So it's really true?
Who knows? I've only heard the same rumors you have. But there's no smoke without fire. The Rooster's been coming down on us hard lately, demanding that we track and trace every single batch of Crystal. My coworkers in the Department of Energy have been tearing their hair out over it.
The Rooster? I didn't realize he cared that much.
Yeah. Even though there are no restrictions on Crystal trading, the poor will wind up freezing to death if we let the rich buy as much as they want. That's clearly unfair. Looks like we'll need to arrange an investigation into the Iskra manufacturing plant as soon as possible. I never knew you kept up with current affairs beyond the theater, Miss Vodyanitsa. You really have a heart for the common person. Most Fae in your position have long been indifferent to the plight of humans.
Well, those of us who choose to live in human cities are naturally going to pay attention to any significant upheaval. Isn't the Rooster a Fae himself? I'm just surprised to learn that even someone with as much experience as him is getting so stressed out over Project Stuja. What is the end goal of this project anyway?
Oh boy.
This is it. We're finally going there.
I'm sure Mitya can sense on some level that she's fishing for information. But since their conversation is so relaxed, he might just let something slip.
It's stressing me out too. If I'd only made better progress with my research, things wouldn't have dragged on this long.
Oh, so your work is related to Project Stuja?
That's right. The Armory Palace needs a brand new energy source. Not the power of the Light Realm and not elemental energy.
That's new information.
Right now, the only thing that meets the requirements is the power contained within stellar linchpins.
Mythia has stellar linchpin.
But harnessing that power is costly. Each step of the process requires enormous amounts of Kresnet crystal, from extraction to quantification to attempts at conversion.
So is that why they need the crystal?
Progress has been painfully slow, and the team is getting burned out as time goes by. Sometimes, I see people staring into space as if in a trance.
Could it be that this new energy source has side effects?
No, it doesn't affect us, because the energy is used for... Okay, I got it. Stop choking me. Sorry, I can't talk about that.
God damn it, hand scarf.
I think we're all just exhausted. We've been working ourselves to the bone for so long with so little progress to show for it. It's no wonder people are struggling to stay motivated.
The energy is used for something. Not human.
Seems like I owe you an apology. I shouldn't have gotten so mad at you for not paying attention during the show.
Don't worry about it. I count myself lucky, to be honest. I don't envy the people who work closely with the Tsaritsa herself. I'd much rather be in my current position. At least I don't have to shoulder any major responsibilities.
So they're trying to develop a completely new kind of energy. Yeah, censored by a scarf. Who would have thought?
Oh, dear. It looks like my time is up. I'm afraid I have to leave. I'm so sorry. We ended up barely talking about the theater.
That's okay. It was a pleasure chatting with you, really.
Let's make up for it next time. Yeah, hopefully once the work pressure eases up a little, I'll be able to focus more on the performance, and then we'll have more to discuss. We touched on some confidential issues today. I'd be grateful if you could keep it between us.
That could have gone worse.
Nice job. Why was Mitya in such a hurry to leave, though?
Because of that.
Sorry, routine inspection.
Oh my god.
Okay, let's go.
I like that. You got Daya, right? Daya has a lion. Like Kamen Rider, I think.
So he wasn't rushing to get back to work. He must have calculated that Valeri would find him here in exactly 25 minutes. That's frighteningly accurate.
One of the main duties of the Special Assignments Battalion is to ensure that important figures stick to their schedules.
Oh my god. Having curfew monitored by army, basically. Holy shit.
Alright, time for us to get going too. Excuse me, check please.
We'll settle our check too, then.
Oh, hello there. Mr. Mitya paid the check before leaving. He also asked me to pass on a message. He said it was an honor to share his tea break with Miss Vodyanitsa and her two friends.
Wait.
Oh boy.
So he knew we were here all along? This raises a lot of questions. Did he deliberately mention the new energy source so that we'd overhear it? Maybe his work isn't confidential after all. Maybe the key here is the purpose of this new energy. I guess that's the next thing to look into.
Yeah, this is getting complicated.
Vodyanitsa and Alosha have left. Time to head back and call it a day.
I mean, technically we live here, so. This is the owner. What's his name? Saitin?
Hello again.
What's up, girl?
You're back! Here pretty early today. Paimon was just gonna mention that. After she woke up today, Paimon felt like her temperature was completely back to normal. But Her strength still hasn't returned. Still, there's some good news. Paimon thinks she might have figured out the source of the problem. It's like there's some kind of mysterious power affecting Paimon. Paimon's never felt this way before during any of her travels. She only started feeling this way since we arrived in Snezhnaya.
That's right. The Armory Palace needs a brand new energy source.
Could that have something to do with this?
What is it? You're making that face again. You know, the one you get whenever you have a light bulb moment?
Stella Lynchman.
They're trying to develop a new energy source here? And you think that might be why Paimon's feeling unwell? Well, Michi denied that the energy they're researching has any side effects. Although, he did say that people working on the project have been having issues with their concentration and short-term memory. And even so, those are completely different symptoms from Paimon's. It's pretty faint, so it's kind of hard to tell. But if anything, it seems like it's coming from roughly the same direction as the Armory Palace. Sure, Paimon's with you there. But how, though? The robot only has a limited amount of intel. Oh, great point! They argue about Project Stusha every day. If we could sit in on one of their sessions, we might pick up some new leads. Good idea! Oh yeah, while you were out, Paimon tried all the yummiest looking desserts in the Potforia restaurant. This one seemed right up your alley. So, Paimon saved some for you. Come try it once you finish writing your letter.
2 days later. New energy, Stella Lynchpin. We heard mention of Stella Lynchpin from Sandrone in the event.
Alosha replied. He says that we won't be able to speak at the Vetcha, but he can arrange for us to attend as visitors. Time to get ready. Then head to the Snezhnagrad Vetcha.
You're back! Paimon's been working on the crossword puzzle in the newspaper. It's actually pretty fun. Oh, shoot! Paimon forgot the next word. Oh, she had it a moment ago. Think, Paimon, think.
Miss Vodyanitsa, prima donna of the Korolievsky troupe. What a surprise meeting you here. Will you be sitting in on a session of the Vetcha?
Sorry, I'm not taking interviews today. Oh good, you're here. The session's about to begin. Let's get inside.
Please wait, Miss Vodyanitsa. Could you introduce me to your new friend?
In summary, the energy management commitments made for the outgoing period have been delivered upon. Furthermore, Both the production and consumption of Kresnik Crystal show clear signs of stabilizing.
My guy. He look good. His nose is shorter, but hey, I understand it. They don't want his nose to clip, probably. Energy management commitment made for the outgoing period has been delivered upon. Production, consumption, stabilizing.
The relevant agencies have assessed the present circumstances and determined that the status quo can be sustained until the next period. For detailed statistics, I would refer you to the industry reports that have been distributed to all persons present. It should also be noted that while the recent blizzards have led to a significant increase in people's energy expenses, this is strictly a short-term phenomenon associated with a remotely located monster. Her Majesty the Tsaritsa is giving her full attention to this matter. We should have every confidence that it will be dealt with swiftly and conclusively. A financial report on disaster relief is also present in this report, courtesy of Pantalone.
They cover the same old ground every single time. The rooster never seems to mind, but everyone else is getting tired of it. There's a general lack of trust. People aren't seeing any tangible benefits that affect them directly. Of course, none of that will be reflected in any of the reports on the table.
Yeah, if it weren't for these hard copy documents, I could have at least made something up. Oh, don't mind me. I'm just out here trying to hit my interview quotas. Bring out the kvass. Ever read it? Best-selling newspaper in town.
If I remember correctly, you guys don't even have a sales permit. You have to sell from stalls on the street.
Okay then, best-selling street stall newspaper in town. Still counts.
Order! We will now open the floor to the representatives. If there are no further substantive issues to discuss, we will then proceed to a vote on this motion.
Snezhnaya has a long tradition of treating members of the Fatui armed forces and their dependents favorably, but recent surveys shows that Fatui families in remote areas have access to 15% less crystal than the average civilian family in Snezhnograd. It's been said many times before, but it bears repeating now. There needs to be a clear and consistent rationale behind how crystal is allocated, or we will soon face immense public backlash.
Perhaps you wouldn't need to keep repeating yourself if you would hear me out for once. I say again, true consistency exists only in principle. In the real world, fairness is relative. You appear to treat resource allocation as a simple function of production and population. So what about when the equipment used in production breaks down? Have you factored that into your equation? And do you even know how long it's been since Snezhnaya last conducted a census?
If I knew the answers to questions like that, I'm sure I'd be a very wealthy man. And I doubt I'd be going by child. I'd like to bring the focus back to the specific issue I raised. Or do you wish to deny that favorable treatment for Fatui dependents is our long-standing policy?
It's easy to be a critic when there's no accountability. That seems to be a running theme in the anti-Project Stuja cohort. Defeat the ringleader and all other problems will magically resolve themselves. That's what they seem to think. But in case you aren't aware, not one jot in my report would change whether Project Stuja continues or not.
So you have no intention whatsoever of finding a solution to this problem?
On the contrary, I'm the only one here who ever brings solutions.
Child opened by speaking up for the armed forces. Regraders struck back with style and a war of words ensued. Our reporter was live on the scene to get the audience's reaction as it all unfolded. Who do you support? The people have spoken! Child received raucous applause from the crowd as he pushed Regrator onto his back foot with a relentless barrage of questions. It had to be seen to be believed.
Now you see why they don't have a sales permit.
However this reporter wants to spin things, I haven't forgotten that Tartaglia was representing the Northland Bank when we first met in Liyue.
When Northland Bank is under Regrator.
So surely their relationship can't always have been this strained.
You two are getting off topic. Let's focus on what the data is saying.
Mr. Pantalone, may I speak on your behalf?
Oh, please do. I'm more than happy to save my breath.
Crystal distribution policy undergoes modifications with each new period. The ultimate goal being to find the most reasonable method of allocation, which I believe is what Mr. Tartaglia also seeks. But I fear many may have been misled on this topic by extremist activists. To clarify, Project Stuja is not the root cause of the problem. It is merely a framework for resource distribution.
Resource distribution. I mean, yeah, kinda.
The most recent reports all point to Snezhnaya's resilience and adaptability during this period of fine-tuning, and give clear indications that a distribution framework is improving with each iteration. To make drastic adjustments without first considering the risks would likely do more harm than good. It would be a waste of the hard-won experience we've gained to date.
Renowned scholar of finance, Arapov spoke up to clarify the fiscal logic, clearly alluding to social organizations like the Rokot in his words. With the notorious Lelek still active to this day, should the Rokot be held responsible? No, there is someone else to blame.
Who's this Lelek?
She's just rephrasing what Mr. Pantalone said. The Rokot are the critics he accuses of taking no responsibility for their actions. As for Lelek, you won't have heard of him yet. He's currently the most famous member of the Rokot. Well, more like infamous. Ending Project Stuja has become an obsession for him. Unlike the more decent ones among us, he believes that votes in the Vetcha are all that matter. So whether it's threats, coercion, or bribery, he'll use whatever means necessary to get people to change their vote.
And since we're already on the subject, what do you think of Lelek's methods? Are you for or against?
Yeah, we need to know the background.
Well, whatever the story is, his actions benefit us all. We stand with Lelek.
At least someone here wants to take this discussion seriously. I've been considering that issue myself. What you really need is more precise regional data, right? I think it would be easiest to let the Fatui handle it, since they're already in charge of Crystal shipments anyway. We may as well get them to collect some data while they're at it.
That's good solution.
Whatever you need, you can ask the Fatui to look into it for you. In terms of supervision, I think the Druzhna would be a good fit. I had hoped to discuss this with Miss Vesna, but sadly, she's not present.
I will be happy to take a note of your suggestions and present them to Commander Vesna for a decision upon her return.
I misread it. I thought it was Akivili. Akivilina.
The Commander has always taken a keen interest in Project Stuja. However, given the Druzhna's demanding workload, I'm afraid it may prove difficult for them to provide any practical support.
Let us refrain from jumping to conclusions until a concrete and actionable plan is in place.
My apologies, Lord Rooster.
There are numerous issues to address here, including manpower, time sensitivity, and reporting lines. Nevertheless, I support drafting a proposal. Follow the usual procedure, and it can be raised as a new motion for all parties to evaluate at the appropriate time.
In that case, I'd like to share one thought before the proposal is drafted. The issue of time sensitivity was raised just now, which I presume relates to the official reports. In fact, the Energy Commission already collects regular statistics on each urban center and its surrounding area. Would these be of any use?
That's a good idea. I read every issue of Svietlolaidovka's report, and although my focus is mostly on the section about equipment operation, the energy consumption statistics also yield a lot of insight.
Be that as it may, does no one see an issue with using local data to determine crystal quotas? In the long term, it seems like a very risky solution.
Not if they are used purely for reference. So long as we have the report from the Northland Bank's headquarters to corroborate it, no one will be able to fool me.
Very well then. It appears that this arrangement is acceptable to all parties.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
The members reached a provisional consensus on the issue of improving treatment for Fatui soldiers. Today, the prima donna of the Korailievsky troupe attended a session of the Snezhnograd Vecha in the company of a dashing young man. The question on all our minds is, what is the true nature of their relationship?
She's basically paparazzi.
Write anything like that again, and I'm revoking your permission to interview the troupe. Got it?
Energy, healthcare, technology industry.
Now then, if there are no further contributions from those present, we shall proceed to the final vote.
Hey, check it out!
Aha! Chugunov.
What made him vote against? Why now?
The votes have been tallied. Those in favor of continuing Project Stuja total 61%, securing a clear majority.
That was too close. The margin has shrunk yet again. Chuganov was a huge loss.
61.
I'll bet Lelek is behind this. I wonder how Pulcinella will respond this time.
Chuganov. I see. Lelek strikes again.
So they all know. I guess Chugunov is against it, so 61 is a lower number.
Yes, go, Lelek. Once Project Stuja is defeated, our unwavering support at Bring Out the Kvass will finally pay off when we make our comeback. I can taste our victory already.
In accordance with the result of this vote, Project Stuja will remain in effect until the next Vecha period. Finally, may I remind us all...
Again, the number is decreasing even though it is at 61.
We debate only for the greater glory and solidarity of our nation. May the aurora shine ever on, and the tundra always stand firm. The session is concluded.
I have to say, I really wasn't expecting Chuganov to vote against Project Stuja. Well, in principle, Snezhnaya's business and political elites ought to be the ones least likely to oppose it.
Because they benefit from it.
As we heard, Project Stuja is basically just a resource distribution framework that requires everyone to cut back during the winter. But even if the policy got cancelled, the Tsaritsa's energy needs wouldn't suddenly go down. The extra demand from the public would have to be filled from somewhere. So logically, the factories would have to take the hit.
Because we were running with the assumption that Chugunov will favor it because it benefits him. But he against it. Because he against it, that means he's prepared to take the hit. Because he owned the infrastructure, right? Or I guess in this case a factory.
I got a letter from Mr. Mitya just before today's session. He said he's confirmed that there are issues around overtime and excessive energy consumption at the Iskra manufacturing plant. In a situation like this, once the Rooster receives the report, he'll order the factory to halt production and submit to an investigation before issuing a penalty. But that's a week-long process, and thus didn't make it onto the Vetcha agenda this time. I don't think he suspects anything so far.
Reduce production and stopping entirely.
Exactly. And as you know, he's a very selfish person. I was originally gonna try and flip him after he received notice of the official sanctions. My plan was to convince him that the whole thing was completely unfair. Rather than just sit back and take the hit while his factory stopped production, he'd be better off voting to end Project Stuja. At least that way, no one else would be able to make any money either, because all the factories would suddenly have more limited energy to work with. But now, he's already voted against it, which means someone must have used more forceful means to change his vote. Just like with everyone else who flipped. Yeah, no one knows why Lilac is so obsessed with ending Project Stuja. But by the looks of it, he's inching closer and closer to success.
Lilac could be a new NPC, or Odette. I guess Odette was proactive when it comes to helping people.
Lelik must have strong motivations, given how he'll stop at nothing to achieve his goal. Maybe he knows the full truth of Project Stuja. Maybe my next step should be to focus on him.
All right. What are your plans for the rest of the day? Shall we head out?
Hey, comrade. I noticed you were here during the debate.
Sup, bro?
I didn't take you for a political enthusiast.
Greetings, Harbingers. I just happened to have some free time today, and my new friend here thought it might be fun to check out the Vetcha.
Ah, Odette must have introduced you. Looks like you two are getting along pretty well.
I'll leave you to catch up. I should head back to the troop.
Sure. Break a leg and all that. Thought it might be fun to check out the Vetcha, did you? Things are never that simple with you, Traveler. There's no way you're here for kicks and giggles. Tell me I'm wrong.
Oh, yeah. To some, he's a captivating enigma. To others, he's the bane of their existence. No one ever thought that some anonymous nobody from the Rokot could cause such a stir. Huh? You want to look into Lelik? Then I'm sure his days of anonymity are numbered. What do you think, Sandrone?
Fine by me, I guess. If the Traveler actually manages to expose Lelik, it'll be doing Pulcinella a favor. In return, it seems fair to let him in on what we've learned so far.
My thoughts exactly. Sharing is caring after all. Head back to Glupov and grab the files on Lelik. It's easier to just pull the records than go through the rigmarole of getting the Traveler a visitor's permit.
Still not allowed inside.
As you command, child, sir.
Likachev.
In that case, since we're going to be waiting anyway, I'll have someone brew a pot of black tea.
Okay, so we get extra help.
One common thread among the many incidents Lelik has been involved in is that the victims are all too scared to share any real information about him. Clearly, he must have threatened them in some way. His modus operandi is to silently infiltrate the scene and leave a threatening letter behind. But neither the letters nor the crime scenes ever yield any clues to his identity. So all these files have to offer are short statements by the people affected. They don't give us a lot to go on.
If nothing else, it shows we're dealing with a trained professional who's versed in counter surveillance.
Yep.
Yes, and to that point, he often strikes in highly secure locations. The victims are high-ranking and influential people who take their personal security very seriously.
So intimidating people who value their security, that's a power play. You better do this or I will kill you.
Somehow, Lelik slips right into their rooms without making a sound. There's never any eyewitnesses, nor the slightest trace of a break-in. If he can get in and out undetected, it means he can strike without warning.
See?
Not that that's ever happened so far, but the thought is enough to scare these people sleepless.
That's how they manage to change people's mind.
It's hard to believe that a human being could pull this off flawlessly every time. So they switched the focus of the investigation to Faye. Unfortunately, no one's found anything yet. Careful, don't underestimate me. Although truth be told, I'd probably find it hard not to blow my cover. Direct confrontation is more my style.
We haven't ruled out the possibility of Lelik being human. It's just, there can only be a handful of people in all of Teyvat who'd fit the profile. Faye, on the other hand, plenty would have the ability, but few would have the motive.
No, not as strong as me. You'll never find the culprit with criteria like that. Let's go with a little weaker than me.
Nuvolite one-shot him, Skirt beat him up.
There's no denying that Master is strong, but meticulous. We can only hope.
He's just trying to find a reference point. Stop getting fixated on who's stronger than who.
But that's the most important thing.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
Relax.
Odette? Yeah, that seems about right. Her skills are solid, and she's always calm under pressure.
Yeah, I figured it's Odette. She's very proactive helping people. With her skill set, it's easy to get into without breaking into places.
Except she's Fatui, so the likelihood of her working against us is pretty low. But yeah, much more accurate than your previous example, at least.
No, wait a moment. Maybe we should interrogate that assumption.
What do you mean? Which assumption?
Her Fatui identity doesn't necessarily exonerate her. And when you think about it, the Rokot would be precisely what she needs to conceal her identity.
Plus, she wouldn't need to be such a pro at covering her tracks. She'd already know where the Fatui will be and when. So she could choose the perfect time to act. Oh, yikes. I was just thinking out loud. Why is this starting to sound like such a convincing theory? Still, what reason could Odette possibly have for trying to call off Project Stuja?
I mean, Odette is against it. Like, we know it.
Arlecchino would be the best person to ask. She knows Odette best. Unfortunately, she isn't back yet. Rosaline used to open up to her in private about her struggles with Odette. As I'm sure you can imagine, Arlecchino is quite a lot better with children than Rosaline was. She gave her some tips on how to handle the situation, and Rosaline managed to reach a settlement with Odette before leaving. So I suppose there were at least no lifelong regrets left behind. Beyond that, I don't know the details about that side of things. But I do know that Odette definitely has a motive to hold a grudge against Project Stuja. The reason being, her father passed away during the early stages of the project.
Uh-huh. We are going somewhere.
That was back before it had been named Project Stuja, when things were still being worked out. But in essence, it's remained the same ever since.
Huh. The more you know. Rosaline was always so self-centered. I never understood why she started paying so much attention to Odette. Is that such a surprise? If you cast your mind back, you may remember that Rosaline and I weren't exactly close. We had tea together a few times, but that was about it.
Odette's past is no secret. Her father was a Fatus and her mother was a very famous ballerina. On the surface, it looks like she followed right in her parents' footsteps. But the truth is quite a different story. After her father passed away on a mission, her mother was overcome with grief. She broke her leg during a performance and could never dance again. Odette was only interested in ballet at the time, but this tragedy left the family with both breadwinners gone. They could barely make ends meet. Per Capitano's policy, Family members of Fatui who died in the line of duty had to be appropriately accommodated and provided with adequate assistance. So, regardless of how Rosaline may have felt about it, it fell to her to resolve the issue of Odette's family's livelihood. In the end, the solution they agreed upon was to have Odette join the Fatui.
Right, because the alternative would have been a one-off compensation payment, I guess. In that sense, joining up was definitely the better option. Still, she must have had mixed feelings about it, right? If she doesn't even like the Fatui...
It's just a theory. A possibility. But as a motive for Odette to become Lilac, it holds up. That said, I have no idea where Odette's head is at right now, or what her conflict with Rosaline was about. Plenty of people were on bad terms with Rosaline. I have no intention of trying to figure it all out. Yes, but there's not much point in discussing that now.
Yeah, back to Lilac. Since our investigations so far have turned up next to nothing, we've got nothing to lose by trying a new angle. Funnily enough, Tonya and I had actually made plans to go to the theater tomorrow to watch Odette's rehearsal. Unfortunately, thanks to this Lilac situation, I'll be stuck working overtime again. Which means you can go in my place. No point wasting the ticket. Plus, you'll get to meet Tonya.
Spirit Seeker. Quite the classic ballet. It was passed down through Odette's mother's family for generations, though it hasn't been performed in years. But Odette's been practicing it diligently, and it's finally ready for a return to the stage. Excitement is through the roof. Tickets for the official performance sold out long ago.
Tonya's excited for it too. She's desperate to see it no matter what. Personally, it's not really my kind of thing, but since she's my little sister, I had to figure something out.
I've actually seen it several times before. The story's pretty straightforward. The lead character follows a trail of clues left behind by a spirit, gradually recovering her memories along the way. It's a tale of love and regret. So not exactly reinventing the wheel, at least by today's standards. But when that classic melody kicks in and the lead character begins to dance, it always gets me. It really is beautiful. Not an easy dance to do justice to, though. I know it's always been Odette's dream to perform this piece, but I'm not sure she's really ready.
In that case, I think that even if she is Lilac, we should wait until her performance is over before we respond. I'll let you take it from here, comrade.
Let's get there. Also, I need to pee. Be right back. back. So far, it's just set up. The Archon Quest is like 8 hours long. I think I'll split. I'll do it tonight. We'll continue second half.
Sounds like you've made a ton of progress today. It's good that everything's going so smoothly. Next step is to head back to the theater and get a clear answer from Odette. Either way, Paimon doesn't get the sense that she's a bad person. Sure, she might have done some pretty extreme things, but Paimon bet she has her reasons. Maybe this is going too far, but like, with everything she's managed to do so far, wouldn't it make more sense in theory to be even more, you know, heavy-handed? Why leave a letter when she could, well, we know there are plenty of other ways to keep people in line, right? The point is, she could have gone further, but she didn't. So, if it is her, she's got some principles at least. Yeah! Well, all you can do is follow the facts wherever they lead. No change, really. But that thing Paimon told you about yesterday? Paimon feels like she can sense it more clearly now. Hearing you talk about your day makes Paimon itch for an adventure. If only she could be there with you so we could experience it all together.
Yeah, I wish you could be there too. I'm not used to adventuring alone. But don't worry, we'll get to the bottom of this.
Guess it's just one of those things. Never mind. Paimon will behave herself and keep resting.
If Odette is Lelik, she may well have inside information on Project Stuja. Her father was involved with the project's early implementation and tragically died in the process. Now, she's dedicated herself to bringing it to an end. It's hard to imagine she could have gotten this far without knowing anything at all about the Tsaritsa's true intentions. When she spoke to us as a member of the Fatui, how much did she let on? And how much was she hiding? Only time will tell. Maybe tomorrow, everything will be answered.
Hey look! It's snowing! Could be a tough day ahead. Make sure you wrap up warm tomorrow.
It's time. Oh, okay, Act 1 complete. Yeah, I'll continue tonight. We have another 4 to 5 hours. We did play the first hour or so. See you tonight.